So, all right, good day, everyone. Today, I want to show you how you can actually use the trend direction to generate signal. We've modified it to make it very, very simple for newbies to use it. Before, it was reserved for the advanced traders only. So, we've made everything very simple for you to use it and make money without stress. Now, if you look at this three trade, it was taken from trend direction, specifically from trend direction. I did not take anything from the AI. I only took it from the trend direction. Now look at how it works. So Bekenet trading software has two ways of which you can generate signal. Now we have the AI that tells us when to buy or when to sell. Look at it, it will spell it out for you when to buy and when to sell. Then secondly, we have the trend direction that tells us the actual direction the market is actually heading to. So once it gives us that direction, our job is to check the parameters before we take our trade. Number one, we must always check the key levels to know if price is close to resistance and support before we take that trade. And two, we always take trade for us to have confidence and have this kind of result that you're seeing here, because I took this trade 2 days ago. I took this trade from here, and if you look at my SL, it's above, always above. Your stop loss should be above the recent high. If you're selling, your stop loss should be above the recent high. If you're buying, your stop loss should be below the recent low. If you don't have enough equity to cover that, please don't trade. Don't use tight stop loss. Don't use $10, $5. No. The only one that I know that you can actually use $10 as your stop loss is flip 1 to flip 5. Anything apart from this, if you look at very well, look at my stop loss. I was risking $24 on this trade. Some of you will go and put $10 here. Some of you will put $5 as your stop loss. It will take you out because price will definitely retrace back. But the software has told us that this is a bearish direction, and it's just started the bearish direction, which is the first phase. Do you understand? The market moves like this. Let me explain this before we go into the app. The market moves in two phases. Do you understand? We have the up, we have the down. This is the middle aspect. Now let's say for instance the price want to go up. Let's say for instance the price want to go up. This place that is divided into two, let me just circle it like this so that you understand it very well. This place that is divided into two, the first phase or the first place the market started moving up because it's trying to head up is called the first phase. Now if the price get to this zone, this other zone, it is called the last phase, meaning that price has getting to its peak here. And once price get to its peak, there is another thing that is going to happen. It will start falling down again because price moves in circles. It doesn't just go in one direction. It goes up, it comes down. It goes up, it comes down. So this AI that we have that help us generate the trend direction, it checks if the price of the market just started in a new trend direction, which it tags it at the first phase. Now I entered this trade at a first phase of this particular pair. That is why you see it, I'm selling from the top. First phase at one candle. That one candle, you will state it as 4 hours ago. Now if I should plot it, this is where the market started falling from. This is where I entered, and I had to put this thing is very simple. If you cannot risk this certain amount, there is no need for you taking this trade, because at the end of the day price will definitely retrace backward then before it will start coming down. So as it's retracing backward, it might take you out if you're using tight stop loss, and we don't use tight stop loss here. That's why we make it compulsory. Always use the recent high of that day, because if the software tells you that I am selling now, that means it fails to break that recent high of yesterday. So you go and put your SL there so that it will be very difficult for price to come and hit you there, because he has already tried to break this place. It failed. So now you have to put your SL here in case if it comes here, it takes you out, then you relax. The most important thing, we already know the direction. It's not for us to come and be doing tight stop loss. If you do that, you're going to lose money. You'll be losing money back to back. Just hold your position. As you can see, I've held this position for 2 days. Today is the second day. I entered from here, price was just going up and down, but it failed to break this level. That is how it is. Let me show you another one again, another pair of which I entered. The same thing with this. You see, I entered this one the same time. Look at it. Look at my SL. Though this one is pretty volatile than the other one. So I was willing to reach 70, what's it called? $77 on this because price has already gotten to this level. It failed. I entered from it. It told me this is a bearish direction. So I had to enter and put my stop loss in a place where it can never get to. Do you understand? Because I'm confident that this is a first phase. It's going to drop down, but it will take time. So that's why this trend direction is for professionals. If you don't have patience, you cannot use it. I can hold this trade till Friday, till next week, as long as I know this thing is still on the first phase. So you should understand this thing very well before you start taking trade with the trend direction. Once you understand this, you are not going to be having issue. Now this is the recent one I posted earlier on. Look at it. The same thing. You see, the same way, the same pattern, the same structure. You see it. My SL is always above. I even make it higher to the previous high here. As you can see, I'm already in profit selling. Now look at my Telegram channel. This was the first one I dropped. This is where I entered. Do you understand? To show you that what we are doing, we are trading re-trade here. Do you understand? This is the second one. This one hits stop loss. This one hits stop loss. Then this one is the one that hits stop loss. Let me show you another trade that I entered. This is the stop loss that I hit. So we trade real matters here. Once you hit stop loss, we'll post it. Do you understand? You see my SL, and with some of you could not even stay up to this, and you hit SL of $7. You cannot be using $7 or $8 to trade this kind of volatile pair. Always make sure you use the recent high of that. If it takes you out, fine, just the way it took me out. Do you understand? Stop loss is bound to happen. Once you understand this thing, you shouldn't be panicking. But if you know you don't have enough capital to be trading all this, if your capital is less than $500, you don't have any business with all these pairs. Just stick to flip 1 to flip 5. Do you understand? So with that being said, let me go into the app now and show you how you can actually use the trend direction to take your trade. Now we have two ways you can do it. So I'm going to be explaining it with the manual aspect. The manual aspect, you can just go, it will give you detailed information about it. Then you can still get the notification. It will still notify you that the trend has changed. Let me look for anyone that's giving me a notification. This is just from the AI telling me to sell good, but I'm not currently trading currency now because today is Monday. I don't want to trade currency. This one is just giving me signal. So let me go straight to the app. Let me go straight to the app now and show you how you can actually use the software. So I'm going to be using WellTrade as an example. I'm going to use WellTrade. If you see, we added WellTrade synthetic tools here. It's a tool. It is not a signal. But we've made it very easy that once you see what I'm going to show you, you can actually use it to trade. Do you understand? Apart from that, any pro trader that comes here knows that this is a trend direction, is on a bearish direction. He knows what to do. He knows how he's going to enter that trade. But we don't have that static way of showing you that you must enter like this. But there's something I need to show to you. Once you see that, you take your trade, go to the inbuilt chart, check if price is close to resistance and support, and take your trade. That's the only thing I'm going to show you here. The rest will come from your experience. Any experienced trader will know that this market is on a bearish direction, so I'm going to stick on a bearish direction. Once you get to this level, I can take my trade. Is different from the signal aspect. That's why I'm still saying that this is for pro trader, but we have made it very easy so that you can spot something and take your trade. So let me go to this pair. So I'm going to click on advanced trend direction. It's very simple. I'm going to click on advanced trend direction. Once I click on advanced trend direction, it's going to open a page for me. All I need to do is just click view. Very simple. Once I click view, it will give me all the pairs that are actually in that circle. Now, as you can see, this pair, I'm currently on this. Since, look at 40 hours ago. 40 hours should be like 1 day, and virtually 40 hours should be a day with almost 20 hours or so. Do you understand? That is why I entered this one. This one is almost 2 days ago. where I entered this one almost 2 days ago. So now what are we looking at for? It is very simple. Very, very simple. Forget about anything you're going to be seeing here. Every other thing you're going to be seeing here is just information to tell you the direction the trend has gotten to, what is happening to that trend direction. But what you need to focus on, your goal here is to always look for your first phase. Very simple. Look at it. First phase of the trend. Secondly, you look at this bearish move. Very, very simple. Bearish move. Now your first phase can range from either 0 to 5. That's the best time to enter the trade. Either 0 to 5 or 6, that's the best time. If you look at it now, it's showing 10 candle. That means price has gone very, very far. Look at it on the chart. This is where the market started from. You can plot it and experiment it yourself. This is the current market price. Let me go to the MT5. Let me go to my MT5 and open that pair. Flip 4. Look at it. This is flip 4. Look at it. Look at where it's heading to. It's dropping massively. Do you understand? This is where, if you count this candle now, it is 4. This is where it is 10. I mean, look at where it started from. Look at it. 10 candle. So you cannot just come and see that the price is already in a trend direction and you start entering. You should look out for something when it is either 0 to 5. That means it's very, very close before it started. Not here, except you have another way of you entering the market. Because if you enter from here, your stop loss is going to be very high. You will still apply the same rules of your stop loss. So you must enter the exact time the trend is changing. That's why we have our notification. It will notify you from the ranges of, very simple, it will notify you from what? 0 to 6. That's the best time to enter. But anything from this, price has gone very far. So what you need to look out for, when price, this candle is showing either 0 to 6, now price has gone far, except the price retrace back. Look at it. Except the price retrace back and you know what you're doing, you're a good trader. Except price retrace back, just like what it did here, you can actually enter from here if you know how to spot it. Do you understand? If you know how to spot it, once price retraces, you already know it's a bearish move, you can enter. But not when you're seeing it falling like this, you go and enter. It can pull back again. But the only time we are expected to enter this market is when you don't need to do anything. When you see it from 0 to 6, it is very fresh and it was in its first phase. That's the only time you can enter the trade. It must be in its first phase, because after this first phase, it will enter a last phase. After a last phase, it will now reverse again to a bullish first phase. Now it's currently on a bearish first phase. There are two phases. First phase of a bearish direction, last phase of a bearish direction. After the last phase of a bearish direction, we'll go back again to a first phase of a bullish direction. Then from a first phase of a bullish direction, it will go back again to a last phase of a bullish direction. From that last phase of a bullish direction, it will now come back again to what? A first phase of a bearish direction. So trading is a circle. It moves in circle, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. But this system we're using, the AI has a way of demarcating it. It will tell you this is the first phase. It's just starting. Then this is the last phase. Last phase, personally, I don't take trade on last phase. But there are sometimes I can look at the market. If there's a retracement in that last phase, there is a space for me to the next key level, I can just risk it. But I always have confidence when the trade is actually on its first phase. I don't need to panic at all, because I know from this first phase we must go to our last phase. So once you get to our last phase, that is where I will start preparing my load to run. But this first phase, I go nowhere. Just like what you're saying here, I cannot run. Do you understand? Because we are still on our first phase. I go nowhere because I know this is the first phase and it's still dropping. It's only when he has entered the last phase and here I'll now know that price will go up and down. But now that it's on first phase, I ride to the bottom. Let me look at the other pair. Look at it. Everything is still dropping the way it is. So you use the first phase. Make sure you enter when the price is on its first phase. That's the only thing you need to look out for. When price is on its first phase, look at it, and this must show red to tell you that this is a bearish direction. You come here, here will be red, bearish direction. Here, bearish move. First phase. Numbers of candle must be in the range of what? 0 to 6. The notification will notify you. We see it written by the side. You take your trade go to your inbuilt chart, check if price is close to resistance and support. That is all you need to do. But you can as well, the professional traders can as well come and say, okay, this thing is on a bearish direction. I am going to do my analysis and wait for a retracement or a pullback, and I entered. So long you are in the first phase, you are very safe. But for the beginners who doesn't know anything at all, just stick to, once you come here, you see what 0 here will show 0. Now it's showing 10. 0 you can take, 1 you can take, 2 you can take, 3 you can take, 4 you can take, 5 you can take, 6 you can take. Once it's 6, once it's 7, the market is already pumping, just like what you're seeing now. It's already pumping, shooting to the downside. It's already pumping, so you stay out of the market. Except you're a pro trader, you already know this is a bearish direction. Now I want to wait for a pullback or a retracement before I can take my trade. It's as simple as that. This signal or this way of taking trade has nothing to do with your AI that is generating signal for you. The AI can actually tell you to sell when there is a last phase. Do you understand? It's going to sell to some extent, because once it's telling you to sell, you check if price is actually close to a resistance and support before you take that trade. It's only when price is close to a resistance, that's why you don't do anything in the application. You understand? So that is how we use it. Very simple. Let me come again. For a bearish direction or a bearish sell, this thing will be red. You see it's glowing red like this, showing you strong sell or very strong sell or whatever thing you're seeing here, and it must be first phase bearish move. This for a sell, you must come here, you must see bearish direction. For proper confirmation, you see the entry price. This is the entry price. You just paste it on your tag. You see the distance he has done. Look at it here. This is the current price. Then the numbers of hours he has done. This is over 40 hours. 40 hours is 1 day and extra 20 hours or so. That's what he has done. Why this one? The same thing. This is a best setup. We entered when the market was actually forming. Let's go to the Telegram channel so that you see it properly. You know when we entered. You see the numbers of candles before we entered. I believe it displayed it. Let me show you so that you'll be very sure of what you're doing. You'll be very sure of what you're doing. Let me see. Look at it. So you see, I entered when it was 4. Very simple. When it was 4. No, this is the AI. Hold on, let me show you. Look at it here. I entered when it was exact 1. Look at it. When it was 1. Now, currently, if you go back and look there, it's showing 10. So I entered the right time. So this is the best time to enter the trade, be it bullish or bearish. Make sure you're seeing either 0, 1, or 2 to 6. But if you can spot it here, you write from the beginning to the bottom. You see it, flip, volume 4, first phase. 4 hours ago, that's when I entered. It was still 1. So where I followed the trend from the beginning, as you can see, I followed it from when it started dropping, and it's still going to drop because it's actually on its first phase. That is how you take your trade. Make sure you're seeing either from 0 to 6, you are safe. Every other thing, apart from 6 to 7 to 8 to 24 and all that, you do your analysis and look for an entry to take that trade. So long it's actually moving in the what's it called? In the specific direction. If it's bearish, you take your trade alongside that. But for newbie, this is what you need to look out for. Make sure the numbers of candles should be 0 to what? To 6. The software will still notify you the numbers of candle. It will only notify you when it is in this range. It's as simple as that. Let's look at the other one that I took to. Let me see the numbers of candle that I entered before we took that trade. Let me see. The same thing, I entered at 2. That is why you're seeing me holding good profit. I entered at 2, 8 hours before it started dropping. So those are the things you need to look at. For every other thing is for analysis sake. Now let's go down and look at. Now if you look at this one now, this is for analysis sake. You're not expected to take any trade there. What it's trying to say is that this is on a first phase. Look at it, understand this thing. This is on its first phase, but read this, is actually on a retracement mode. But it's on a bullish direction, but it's actually on a retracement mode. Now, this thing you're saying, stage 1, you're not going to take any trade, but I just want to explain it to you. Stage 1 is actually telling you the price is actually dropping massively. Stage 3 is actually dropping massively, but the overall trend is what? In a bullish direction. If you look at it, you're seeing negative here because now the entry price where the market started buying or in a bullish direction has gone below this. That's why you're seeing a negative pips here. Do you understand? This is for just for analysis sake. With this one, I'll be able to wait. If I want to take a trade, I will have it at the back of my mind that SF volume 6 is a bullish direction, but currently is on a retracement. I'll place my mind. Anytime I receive a notification to buy, I will buy. That means the retracement is over. But now it's currently on a retracement because it's going to come down, then go back up again. Because the overall trend is what is in a bullish direction and is on a first phase. This for analysis sake. So I will have my mind programmed that I am hoping to buy this pair when it has come out of this retracement. So it gives you detailed information about it. So that's that. The same thing on this. Look at this one I entered. The same thing I posted recently. Look at it here. I posted it here. Where's my Telegram channel? Let me see it. This is the last post I did. Where is it? Which is this? This is it. Look at it. I entered when it was 2. Told me to sell. I checked the key level. Everything is intact before I took the trade. So it's still currently on a sell. 2 candles. You understand? Why this one is the same thing? This one is still showing the same thing. First phase, but it's actually on a retracement. Meaning stage 1 is actually on a slight retracement. It's actually moving to the opposite direction of the bullish move. Then this one, the second stage is actually corresponding to the overall trend direction. So all these things are for analysis sake, for you to know the state of the trend direction of this particular pair. The overall trend direction is what? Bullish direction, but currently we're having a slight retracement. That's why you see stage 1 slight, it's just very small retracement going downward instead of upward. Now you can see this one too is actually completely what? This is a signal, but I cannot take it because I already have trade running. This exact time you need to take this trade. 2 candle, first phase, very simple. 2 candle first phase. Now this one is actually on the retracement. This is another setup again. It's actually in the range 5 candle. You can actually take this trade. Just go to your inbuilt chart, check if price is close to resistance and support. You take the trade. Simple as that. Let's move again. It just entered the retracement now, so maybe price just spike up. That's why it gave us that information. Look at this one too. This one is above the range. So the only way you can take this trade now is for you to wait for a pullback before you enter the trade. It's actually selling massively. Let me plot it and see flip 60. Let me see flip 60. If I have it here, flip 60. Let's see. Flip 60. Sorry, FS volume 60. I think this is it. FS volume 60. Let's look at it. See where it are. FS volume 60. You see, it's dropping. So let's look at the entry price. This is the entry price. This is the entry price. So let's see where it started dropping from. So had it been we spotted it when it was maybe 2 or 1, would have been a massive profit. So let me plot this. So this is for trend direction. If you understand it. So this is where it's actually dropping from. Look at it. So let me see the phase that is in. This is it. This is where it started dropping from. So it's currently fresh, but there was actually what? A drawdown on it. Let me say it's actually on the first phase, meaning there was what? A pullback, a slight consolidation. That's why it's not moving heavily. You understand? So this is where it started from. It may be started from here if you can count it. So price went up a little bit. So it's now actually coming down to the downside. Let's look at the daily candle. Look at it. It's still going to drop. Still going to drop down. Still on its first phase. So that's how it is. But now I cannot enter the trade because the numbers of candle has passed. Except I'm going to wait for a pullback before I'll be able to enter trade. So the summary of everything now, before you can take your trade, the same principle apply with forex. The same principle apply with what's it called? deriv synthetic and well trade. So what you're looking at for, make sure you are entering at first phase. Make sure you're entering at first phase. Then make sure you are entering when the candle is between the range of what 0 to 6. So you make sure you're entering when the candle is in the range of 0 to 6. This is the manual asset. This is how you just scroll and look at the information about the trend direction. It is very simple. Just go straight to the point. The one that is going to show you bullish direction, it always indicates green. Just read through. Bullish move. Here will be green. It will show you green. First phase, you enter, you take your trade. Now there's no signal. Okay, let me use Forex to show you the first phase, how it looks like. All right, this is for Forex. Let me show you how it looks like so that once you see it, you'll be able to pick it. This is gold. Gold is actually dropping, but I did not take gold. Gold is actually dropping. Let me look if there is a buy, a bullish direction. Okay, this is how a bullish direction look like. You understand? This is how you expected to look. This one is 14 already. We cannot do anything here. Look at it. This is how it look like. This is on the last phase. So for a bullish direction, you see a first phase here. Here will be green. Here will be bullish move. It's as simple as that. Let me look for another one if there is any. There is any. All of them are in their last phase. There is none. Do you understand? So that's what you need to look out for. First phase, numbers of candle must be in the range of 0 to 6. You check if price is actually close to your resistance and support. Then you put your SL above, because this is a trend direction. Put your SL above the recent high or below the recent low if you're buying. It's as simple as that. This is the manual aspect. Then if you want to load your pair, if you want to get notification for it, you click here, select the pair you want to gain alert for trend direction. All I do is just come here, load. That's all. I've loaded it. So once there's a new trend direction for this pair, the system will notify me. So if you want to see what you've loaded so far, you come here, click the menu again, click your well trade tools, click on view history. From there, you'll be able to delete and remove the ones you don't want. You can delete all. Look at it. You can delete all. You can delete one after the other. It's very simple. So the purpose of this is to help you know the trend direction. If you're a beginner or if you're a pro trader, the pro trader is going to help you a lot. Believe me, it's going to help you a lot, because you will now know the overall trend direction where the market is heading to. Then you can now do your analysis alongside with it. But for the beginners, once you go to the trend direction, just focus on first phase only. The professional traders can actually take trade from last phase so long they know what they are doing. You understand? But for the beginners, please, if you're not good enough, stick to only first phase. They don't come out all the time. Once they come right to the last phase, start trailing your stop right to the ending. Once you get to last phase or get to any key level, you can actually exit and leave and wait for another fresh one. Then you'll be combining it with your AI that is generating signal for you. It's as simple as that. What you need to look out for, let me rephrase again. Your first phase, very important. First phase bullish move, first phase or bearish move. First phase bullish move is always green. First phase bearish move is always red. Just read through, you understand it. Every other thing you see there is for what? Analysis sake, for you to know what is actually happening in that trend direction for that particular pair. Very, very simple. Look at it. It's very clear. If it's going to be bearish, this thing will be red. If it's going to be bullish, this thing will be green. Must be first phase before you enter. Then if it's going to be numbers of candle must be in the range of 0 to 6 to be on the safer side without you waiting for pullback and all that. That is when the price is actually starting. It's as simple as that. So if you apply all these things and make sure you put your SL, risk what you know you can afford to lose. Very simple. One position at a time. If you do that, you're going to get the same result I actually post. I only hit one essay today, but you can still get the same result that I actually post in the group. It's as simple as that. If you have any question on this, you can actually send me a message for proper explanation. But I've told you what you need to know. It is very simple. Once you see this first phase, look by this side. You must see a candle 0, 1 to 6. If it's 6, you can take your trade. Then after you must have checked this, you make sure that this is a red. If it's a bearish direction, if it's red, look at this place very well. If you spelled out bearish move means a bearish direction, then you now go to your inbuilt chart to check if actually price is close to resistance and support. If there is a space, you enter. Put your stop loss above the recent high. If it's a buy, you must see a green color here. Here will be a bullish direction. It must be first phase. Numbers of candle must be in the range of what? 0 to 6. Then go to your inbuilt chart, check if there's a space for you to buy to the next key level. Then you enter your trade. It's as simple as that. How do you exit? Me personally, the way I exit, I can exit when this price has turned to a last phase, because this is like a swing. You hold your trade because we want to ride to the next phase. Do you understand? But some of you can go out when you get to another key level. But person like me, I always trade stop. You understand? Until I get to a last phase, then I'll be confident that anything can happen, that I can exit the market. But once it's first phase, I always ride to the ending. Do you understand? But some of you may have your target. Once you get to a key level, you can take your profit and leave. Do you understand? Except there is a pullback. If you want to re-enter, make sure there is a pullback before you start entering again. It's as very simple as that. We don't have a fixed place of take profit, but we have a fixed place of our stop loss. It must be above the recent high or below the recent low. Simple as AB. So if you have any question, feel free to send me a DM and I'll be able to attend to it. Or every other thing you're saying here is for analysis sake, for us to know what is actually happening in that market. It's as simple as that. We are not expected to take trade when we see this, when we see this. We are not expected to take trade. We only take trade when we see something like this. But the numbers of candle must be less than 6. Simple as what ABC is. So thank you very much. If you have any question, you can drop it on the Telegram channel there so that other people can learn, or you can send me a direct message. Thank you very much.